What's up, guys? We're back with another video. So, today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is about Stacey Abrams. So, we all know Joe Biden won the presidency, and he's going to have control of the House, and he's obviously going to have control of the Senate. Kamala Harris is going to be able to break that tie, 50-50 tie in the Senate, make it 51 votes, get things passed through reconciliation. Hopefully, we can get the stimulus and all that stuff passed. But instrumental in getting us to that 50-50, the Democrats, I should say, was Stacey Abrams. So Stacey Abrams has obviously in 2018 she ran for governor against the Kemp guy, and she lost by about a narrow 55,000 votes to Kemp. But that didn't stop her in her pursuit in order to make sure that the voters' voices were being heard. They weren't being suppressed, disenfranchised, weren't getting the things that they needed to do in order to organize and support their people that they wanted to elect into positions to help their community prosper. And this was specifically targeted towards the black community, the minority community in her Georgia area. That she's done a wonderful job of just orchestrating a grassroots support that has enabled us to get to this point now where we've given Joe Biden and the Democratic Party a chance to really govern and do things that can hopefully better our government, our economy, our quality of life, education, all the priorities that we have in our society that we want to improve on and ameliorate on. She's been instrumental in getting Ossoff and Warnock elected, and there's a lot of support that's been going her way. And I just think we need to recognize a person like her and what she's done in order to get to that point. So, especially when we talk about progressives, people on the left, we have to realize that this is a process of getting things done, and it's not going to be in an instant. It's not going to be one or two elections, just based on some of the stuff that she's had and what she's done in her time in office. So when she had a step-by-step plan when she was House Minority Leader in Georgia. She had a step-by-step plan, strategic data-driven plan on how we could get people of color in order to be less disenfranchised and win and pick up districts and states in her town of Georgia over the next couple of years. This started around 2011, 2012. Her main organization that she worked with in that time was the New Georgia Project. And then after her defeat in 2018, she founded Fair Fight, which was a voting rights organization to help people, thousands of people across Georgia, to organize, volunteer, and canvass in order to get the support that they needed to elect these Democratic people into Georgia. She's been working on that for a while now, 15 years that Georgia's been trying to get to a position where they could eventually flip. This is the first time since 1992 that a Democratic candidate for president won Georgia. And as you can see, there's a lot of tide changing. We have Georgia that was on the edge. Texas looks like it might be changing as well. So the starts of getting to a position where we can start to get more Democratic people elected and hopefully start to get more progressive policies elected starts with making sure that we can enable these Democratic peoples, the Stacey Abrams, and have more of them. There's a lot of them in Georgia who may be unnamed, who we may not know. And she's mentioned how it's a lot of people who have worked in this effort. It's not just her. She's kind of the face of it just because what she's done and her influence and and how prominent she's been in the national political landscape without actually holding a national seat. But she's just done so much to demonstrate how people can lead and how if we work together to make sure people's voices are heard, they can be effectively put in a position where we can see those people get into positions of power and hopefully better our system and our lives. So yeah, that's pretty much what I really wanted to say on Stacey Abrams. She's worked tirelessly with that New Georgia Project and Fair Fight since about 2012, and then again when she lost, she didn't go back into the shadows. She continued to persevere and continue to just keep on going on, and I just think it's such a strong trait, and you can take a lot of lessons from a woman like her, particularly a black woman. A black woman in the South, that's just a tough situation to overcome. I mean, racism is a thing that still continues to persist, especially in those areas of the country, and obviously being a woman as well, it can be it's very tough. You know, we all can't deny that. So just her ability to persevere and put other people like ahead of herself. Some people call her like captain, superhero, and like while all those accolades are great, there is a sense of like black women especially always having to be put in those positions where we think they're just doing the thing that they feel is right, and we're like making it seem like, oh wow, you're doing such a magical thing. And I think there's a sense of like, yes, that's okay, but a sense of like you have to realize that because we as a society put them in these kinds of positions, when they go out and are like, no, this is just what I got to do. It puts a lot on their shoulders, and I think we need to spread that responsibility across a lot of people, especially in the liberal, progressive, and democratic wing of our nation's political climate. So she was instrumental in getting Warnock and Ossoff elected, giving the Democrats a majority in the Senate. And I think with this, and just looking at her blueprints and her foundation and the 10, 15 years she's worked and having these two organizations showcases that a single person who is in tune, politically in tune, is looking at the data, looking at the ways you can pick up seats, is just something that we need to do a better job, especially as progressive people, in order to get our people in positions where they can go and pick up seats in these places where we think it's not possible. Like I said, 1992, last time presidential candidate won, she was instrumental in getting that done. And then not one, but two Senate seats were able to be won in the runoff, which historically goes towards Republicans. So just what she did and her efforts in bringing about the situation that we currently have, to have the trifecta of Democrats, is something that I just really want to applaud her efforts for. And going forward, I think using a Stacey Abrams blueprint is going to be instrumental for progressive people who decide to take the lead and the people who go out and supporting them. You know, it's not going to be a one-time thing. You know, it may take 2 or 3 elections. It may take a decade and a half. But if we continue to do the things and fight for the things we need and get the people out to vote because they like the policies that will help their lives, we're going to see a lot more success stories like Stacey Abrams in all parts of the country. So that's all I have to say on that. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video very shortly.